Have you ever wondered why your heart races when you're feeling anxious or nervous? Why you might feel a sense of dread for no apparent reason? It could be a sign of anxiety. Anxiety is more than just a fleeting feeling of unease or apprehension. It's a common and pervasive health condition that touches countless lives around the world. It's that invisible thread weaving through the fabric of our everyday experiences, often unnoticed until it pulls tight, causing our hearts to race and our minds to whirl. It's a complex interplay of emotions, physical symptoms, and cognitive processes, all working in tandem to produce that all-too-familiar sense of unease. Yet, despite its prevalence, anxiety remains a misunderstood and often overlooked condition. But here's the good news: with understanding comes the power to manage and control it. Anxiety is not just an emotional state, but a complex health condition that affects millions globally. Understanding it is the first step towards managing it. Anxiety doesn't just pop up out of the blue. There are several causes and risk factors that can contribute to it. That's right, anxiety isn't a one-size-fits-all condition. It's a complex interplay of various factors. And to understand it better, let's delve into the potential causes and risk factors. First off, genetics play a significant role. If you have a family history of anxiety disorders, you might have a higher predisposition to experiencing anxiety yourself. It's like inheriting your mom's blue eyes or your dad's curly hair, but in this case, it's an increased likelihood of anxiety. Next, there's brain chemistry. Our brains are intricate networks of billions of neurons communicating through chemicals called neurotransmitters. Sometimes, if these neurotransmitters are out of balance, it can lead to feelings of anxiety. Think of it like a seesaw. When it's balanced, everything's fine, but when it's tipped to one side, that's when issues can arise. Then there's personality. Some people, particularly those who are perfectionists, easily flustered, or have a low self-esteem, may be more prone to anxiety. It's like being the type of person who needs every detail to be perfect. Any small hiccup or change can cause a spiral of anxious thoughts. Life events, too, can trigger anxiety. Traumatic experiences such as a car accident, a difficult breakup, or losing a loved one can all lead to heightened feelings of anxiety. This is your brain's way of trying to protect you, but sometimes it can go into overdrive and cause more harm than good. Now let's talk about symptoms. Anxiety can manifest in various ways, but some common signs include restlessness or feeling on edge. It's like that feeling when you're waiting for an important phone call and every minute feels like an hour. Increased heart rate and rapid breathing are also common. Almost as if you've just run a marathon, but you're simply sitting at your desk. This is your body's fight or flight response kicking into high gear, preparing you to face a perceived threat. And then there's trouble concentrating. It's like trying to watch a movie, but your mind keeps wandering to 1,000 different places. You're there, but you're not really there. But remember, everyone's experience with anxiety is unique. Some might have all these symptoms, while others might only have a few. It's not a checklist, but more of a guide to understanding what you might be going through. Recognizing these symptoms and understanding the causes is crucial in seeking help and managing anxiety effectively. Because the more we know about anxiety, the better equipped we are to tackle it head-on. So, if you or someone you know is experiencing these symptoms, don't hesitate to reach out for help. You're not alone, and there's always help available. Living with anxiety can be challenging. It can affect every aspect of your life, from work to relationships. Imagine you're on a roller coaster ride. The ups and downs, the twists and turns can be thrilling for some, but for those grappling with anxiety, it's like being stuck on this ride without an end in sight. Daily tasks that seem second nature to most can become insurmountable challenges. Even something as simple as making a phone call or answering an email can trigger an intense wave of worry. It's like there's this persistent fog of unease that never really lifts, making it hard to focus and function optimally. In the realm of relationships, anxiety can weave a complex web. It's like constantly walking on eggshells, fearing that a wrong move might shatter the fragile balance. This can strain personal connections, making it hard for both the person struggling with anxiety and their loved ones. And let's talk about sleep, or the lack thereof. Anxiety often brings along a buddy: insomnia. The nights can be long, filled with racing thoughts and palpitations, leaving you drained and exhausted when morning comes around. Consider the story of Sam, a high school teacher. Sam loves his job but struggles with social anxiety. Every day he battles fear and apprehension about being judged by his students or colleagues. This constant worry affects his confidence and performance, often leaving him drained at the end of the day. Or take the example of Lisa, a mother of two. Lisa deals with Generalized anxiety disorder. The constant worry about her kids' well-being, their future, and her own capability as a mother often leaves her feeling overwhelmed and unable to enjoy the beautiful moments of parenthood. These stories are not unique. They mirror the experiences of millions around the world grappling with anxiety. But it's important to remember that every cloud has a silver lining. Despite these challenges, remember that help is available and you're not alone in this journey. So, how do doctors diagnose anxiety and what are the treatment options available? Let's dive right in. Diagnosing anxiety isn't as simple as running a blood test or taking an X-ray. It's a process that involves a comprehensive evaluation of a person's symptoms, medical history, and often a physical examination to rule out other medical conditions that could be causing similar symptoms. This is why it's so crucial to seek professional help if you suspect you're experiencing anxiety. Healthcare providers typically use a tool called a mental health screening to help identify signs of anxiety. During this screening, you might be asked a series of questions about your feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. It's important to answer these questions as honestly as possible, as your responses will play a key role in your diagnosis. Once a diagnosis is confirmed, a treatment plan can be developed. It's important to note that what works well for one person may not work as well for another. Anxiety treatment is highly individualized and often involves a combination of approaches. Conventional treatment options for anxiety typically include psychotherapy, also known as talk therapy, and medication. Cognitive behavioral therapy, a type of psychotherapy, is often considered particularly effective for treating anxiety. It helps individuals identify and change thought patterns that lead to anxious feelings. Medication, such as antidepressants, beta blockers, and benzodiazepines, can also be used to help manage symptoms of anxiety. However, it's important to remember that medication is typically most effective when combined with psychotherapy and lifestyle changes. Now let's talk about alternative treatments. These are approaches that may be used in addition to or sometimes in place of conventional treatments. Alternative treatments for anxiety include mindfulness and relaxation techniques, acupuncture, yoga, and dietary supplements, such as chamomile and valerian root. It's worth noting that while these methods can be helpful, they should not replace professional medical treatment. Another vital component of managing anxiety is self-care. This includes regular exercise, a balanced diet, adequate sleep, and avoiding caffeine and alcohol, which can trigger or worsen anxiety symptoms. A growing body of research also suggests the potential benefits of digital interventions, such as smartphone apps designed to promote relaxation and mindfulness. These tools can be particularly useful for those seeking help managing their anxiety in day-to-day situations. Lastly, it's essential to remember that it's okay to seek help. If you're feeling overwhelmed by anxiety, reach out to a healthcare professional. They can guide you towards the most effective treatment options for your individual needs. With the right help and treatment, managing anxiety becomes a much more manageable task. Aside from medical treatments, there are several self-care strategies that can help manage anxiety. Let's delve into some practical tips that could be beneficial. First off, lifestyle modifications can make a significant difference. Regular sleep patterns are crucial as they help regulate your mood and keep your brain functioning optimally. Try to establish a bedtime routine and stick to it, even on weekends. Waking up and going to bed at the same time each day can improve the quality of your sleep, which in turn can help manage anxiety symptoms. Next, consider the role of nutrition in managing anxiety. Consuming a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can aid in maintaining stable blood sugar levels, reducing mood swings and energy crashes. Also, staying hydrated is key, as even mild dehydration can lead to feelings of anxiety. Regular exercise is another powerful tool in your anxiety management toolbox. Physical activity releases endorphins, the body's natural mood lifters, and can also serve as a healthy distraction from anxiety-provoking thoughts. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. Practicing mindfulness and relaxation techniques, such as meditation and deep breathing exercises, can also be beneficial. These practices can help you stay present and focused, reducing anxious thoughts about the past or future. Lastly, consider the power of social connections. Spending time with supportive friends and family or engaging in social activities can provide a natural mood boost and help distract from anxious thoughts. If socializing feels overwhelming, remember, it's okay to start small. Even a brief phone call or a walk with a friend can make a difference. Remember, these strategies are complementary to professional treatment and should be adopted as part of a holistic approach to managing anxiety. It's important to consult with a healthcare professional to determine the best approach for you. Everyone's experience with anxiety is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another, so be patient with yourself and continue to explore different strategies until you find what works best for you. To recap, we've covered a lot of ground today about anxiety. We've delved into its causes, risk factors, and the myriad of symptoms one might experience. We've explored how it can impact everyday life, making simple tasks seem daunting. But we also focused on the fact that it's not a life sentence, but a condition that can be diagnosed and treated. We've discussed a variety of treatment options, from conventional approaches like medication and therapy, to alternative methods like mindfulness and yoga. We've shared tips on lifestyle modifications and self-care strategies that can help manage anxiety, emphasizing the importance of a healthy lifestyle, proper nutrition, and regular exercise. We want you to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Each person's journey with anxiety is unique, and what works for one might not work for another. Remember, if you're struggling with anxiety, it's important to seek help from a healthcare professional. You're not alone, and there are many resources and treatments available to help you manage this condition.